morning. This week, I was thinking about that touching the earth exercise, and I hope you'll all forgive me if you didn't like that very much. I know it's a long time commitment to bow, but I am technically still in the middle of it. It ends later today with this virtual retreat put on by Osho Zenju Manuel. I don't know if some of you have heard of her. She's a really cool Zen teacher in a different lineage than mine, but still really powerful. And it's this retreat on death and darkness and kind of harnessing that kind of power as people who maybe work with people who are dying or are going through that process themselves. And it's been really interesting all weekend to be virtual with about 40 people, a couple of them my friends, a couple of them my teachers, and then all the area in between or random participants. But one thing we did together was this really slow bowing as an act of just appreciation. And I was struck by the fact that it was the same as gotaitochi, the kind of five we do, but just really drawn out. And what I read from was an adaptation of Thich Nhat Hanh's words. He wrote that kind of style of reading or phrasing first. And really the power of being there fully in that bow. I think a lot of the time it's easy to get up for walking meditation, kind of let your mind start to go, think about, okay, my knees, oh, my foot's waking up, okay, pins and needles, or just things start flooding in during your day when you're waiting for other people to stand. And then I always notice, even when I'm like on this side of walking meditation and absent-minded, I get up and by the time I come around, I see, oh, my cushion's kind of all crazy, and my book's the only one that's like halfway in the middle of the aisle, and I'm just like, wow, I thought I was here, and then I look at my seat and I clearly wasn't, right? Everything's all kind of unkempt, and there's something really too going slowly and trying to do something with your full intention, no matter how important you think it is. I think growing up in primarily like Zen strict settings. I was in temple settings, but they've never been very strict, so that's kind of nice. It's always a break when we're here. But for myself, like having the pressure to do everything exactly right, or the way even I was taught to set up the cushions for everybody in the morning. I get here early, I set everything up. Your sutra books are always in the same corner. I line everything up the same exact way. And it's not just to do it for the sake of being the same or for the sake of having, any format. But when you walk in and you see everything has been set with intention, it kind of, at least for me, says, oh, there's a way to be here. Like there's a way to join in. There's all these cushions sat up. Maybe if I walk in and nobody's available to talk to me, I can take a pretty easy guess, like, oh, I can sit on one of these, and this book's for me, right? Because everybody has one. It's all set up. It's all kind of welcome in, which is meant to be the format. And in doing those slow bows, welcoming in kind of this whole moment and thinking about ancestors, yes, and the different ways that we relate to each other, but really just doing what the exercise is called, which is touching the earth, I think is something I forget can be really powerful and really connective. And the fact that bowing it's a sign of respect, it's a sign of seeing people, of greeting, but really it's an opportunity to just fully notice, to let yourself be one little complete loop, right? Putting your hands together, bringing them close to your heart, and to just really feel what is everything that is in between my hands right now. And for me, I mean, obviously our answer is different every day, but for me, that's truly everything, right? It doesn't matter what's literally in my hands, right? My foot's in my hands right now, but if I think of just all the things that came to be to even allow my hands to touch, allow my hands to feel each other touch, right? That's not something everybody can do. Every single moment came into that. And so, very abstract talk today, but I was just thinking about those bows and just those moments of touching those earth, the moments of returning, of touching the earth in each other and recognizing kind of this like when you're falling in love or getting a really good friend crush or like a really fun new friend that you're like, oh, we're going to be best friends. We're so alike. There's something there to abandoning, like whether this lasts forever or not. But in that moment, you're just there, excited and connected. And that's something we can do with ourselves, with the earth, with everything that's here available to us if we have the chance to slow down, to let it all in, and to open ourselves up to it. So that's my sharing today. Thank you all so much for listening. Okay, we got a big group, so we'll do some quick round robins. We only have 2 online, so we'll start with y'all. But I remember the code